if you followed my other video on doing the interior on this old Edsel here, this 59 Edsel, just thought I'd show a little update what's going on with it and show you a few other things. And also, stick around and watch it. I want to recommend a few YouTube car channels that I watch. So it'll be good. So let me move the camera over here inside and I'll show you what's going on. Yeah, where I left off before, we had the back seated back here. So got that out because I got the trunk divider board in. So that all looks good. It all seals it up good. Just put some self-tapper screws in there to hold it. And the package tray, that's all tightened down. It just needed to be, secured more. So I don't have to replace that. That's all good. Got the old door panel, rear door panels out. And while they're out, we're going to get in there and grease the window regulators and everything. So that all works smooth. So we're kind of on hold back here, waiting on the windlace, that goes along. Well, I'll try to show on this side. It goes along in here. Because before you can put the rear panels in, you got to have the windlace in. So I got that ordered up, and that should be coming any day. Then we can move forward, put the windlace in, put the rear panels back in, and start putting some of the hardware back in, and maybe that back cushion. But we're still waiting on the carpet. That hasn't showed up yet either. So we're moving along here. Kind of a winter project, so really no big hurry. Yeah, and here's the dash. As you see, I got the radio in. I don't know if you saw my other video of where I had the radio out, putting the FM conversion to it. So I got the radio out. The main thing is got the speaker in up there. Well, that was a trick, because I'm an old disabled guy, and for me to crawl around in here it's pretty tight. So I kind of stopped, because here's the FM converter down here, because I got all in here and I forgot all the tools to put that in. And once I got back out, I says, no hurry, I'll do that next time. But at least I got the speaker in, and so this is kind of moving along. This will be nice when it's all done. And that power amplifier box, I kind of mounted it up inside above the heater box in there. I found a spot up in there. So I think it'll stay cool enough. So that's kind of mounted good and out of the way, because originally they had that thing way up inside the fender. I don't know why, but I think it'll be okay where it's at. Okay, well, let me show you the new door panels. Okay, here's the door panels. Obviously, there's the old and the original, and there's a replacement from SMS Auto Fabrics. Really nice. Still in the plastic. I don't want to take it out yet. It's ready to install. It'll just get dirty. But you can tell this original panel, yeah, it was kind of due to be replaced. You figure it's 1959. So, gosh, that's, I don't know, 60 years old or some crazy thing. 59, 60. Yeah, 65 years old. I look on the back. Yeah, they get water damage through here and stuff. That's where it kind of mounts. But so there's the original. And check these out. These are the replacements. Boy, these are going to be nice. They're all made with NOS material, stuff like that. And, I still got other boards in the back. All looks good. You just got to score the holes, put the window crank in and the armrest. So this is really going to freshen up that old interior. If there is any ever mice in there, that car, they've all been evicted. Actually, this car really didn't have much mice, except for that trunk lid. And that was about as far as they went. So, yeah, so this is going to look real good. So I'm just going to leave these guys wrapped up until I'm ready to put them in. Okay, so I wanted to fix the clock before I put the clock back in. And actually, here's the old original clock. It don't work. Not most of these old cars clocks don't work. But that's why I want to mention some of these YouTube car channels that are out there. Actually, a lot of them are real helpful. And if you're like me, I watch a lot of them. So I want to give a shout out to this channel. Is Shed by the Tracks. And I'll put his link up here at the top somewhere. Or at least there's a description where you can find him. So he's working on an old 49 Buick. And he had one of these clocks. And This is the original clock out of it. And he kind of opened it up, cleaned it out, and got it working. So I watched that, and I go, well, I'll give that a try. So sure enough, here's what I did. I got this. I want to unhook it here. I had it powered up. So here's a clock I had out of a parts car. So I took this apart, and all you got to do to take these apart, you just bend these little tabs back with a little screwdriver, small screwdriver like this. And got inside there. And boy, there's a lot of mechanisms, mostly all gears. It's all mechanical. It's like an electromechanical magnet that runs in there, causes a magnetic field and gets all this motion going with all these gears. They're actually there's a lot going on in here. But all I really did was kind of blew it out and carefully cleaned it up. And I got this, I looked up online and got this clock oil. It's a real light oil, and just barely put a little bit of drops or two of oil on the gears. Yeah, and it came back to life. It's kind of weird how these things work. There's like a cogwheel in here, and then there's a pin that goes into that cogwheel and adjusts fast or slow. You move that in or out. You move it out, it'll go faster. In, it'll make it slower. And what happened with this one, it was all the way out. It wasn't touching it, so that's why it wasn't working. That might be what goes on for a lot of old car radios. Because if you think about it, these things are, they're hot all the time. They're on all the time. So this is a 59, I think, probably ran for a year or two, then died, which, probably what happened is that pin came out of that cogwheel, and then it won't function. So I carefully pressed that back in there and powered it up, and boy, it works. Yeah. Also what I did, while I had it apart, I just took some model paint, cleaned up the hands, put some red, the hands, and white on the second hand compared to the original. You can see it's just faded out from age. But, yeah, let's see how it works. Just want to put some hot to here. 12 volts. Of course, I'm just off this battery over here. Yeah, there you go. See, and what's cool about these old radios? I mean, what's cool about these old clocks is, they kind of tick. You could send these clock out and they could put a modern quartz movement in it. Then it'd just be a sweep, But, I kind of like the original. So by fixing this, as you see, the second hand just kind of, ticks. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Instead of that, quartz thing where we'll just, that ain't right. So big question is, a lot of people say, well, this is hot all the time. Is that going to run the battery down? I doubt it, but you know what? Let's hook a meter up to it and see how much current draw this thing has. I'll set this down, get my meter out. Okay, I got my meter out here. I just run in the power, through the meter in series, and I have it set to 300 milliamps DC. And let's see, I'll just touch this to the hot. Let's move my hand so you can see. And you can see it's only drawing, the clock's running, it's only drawing 36 milliamps, which is hardly anything at all. Whoop, just dropped. Oh, now it's stable. Maybe it uses a little more power to get that movement going, then it kind of settles in. Yeah, so it's a steady 27 milliamps. So that's not much current draw at all. So I kind of see how, back in the day, someone would buy a car, and the clock's always running. Because you don't turn the clock off, it's always hot. And people put these in their garage for a week. They don't want to come out and find their car dead because of their clock. So hardly draws. See, I take it off, it goes to 0. Put it back on real carefully there. Yeah, about 27 milliamps. All these things really draw. So there we go. So leave it like that. These cars like this, though, when they're stored, I always have a battery maintainer on it to keep the power up. So leave it like that. And I've seen another car like my Studebaker Hawk I have over here. I'm going to do a video on that pretty soon. The clock wasn't working, and I got on the dash to try to find out, see if there's something obvious like it wasn't plugged in. And someone actually had a switch. You know, like they were kind of paranoid of having to run all the time and killing their battery. So there's a switch in there, which you could probably do. That'd be not a bad idea. And just turn it off. Turn off the power to it. Of course, every time you got in the car, you'd have to get right here and, you know, just set the time. But yeah, so that's going to work out real well, this clock. Like I said, I was watching Shed by the Tracks. And Randall there, and he's got a great channel. And he's an entertaining guy. You know, make you laugh. He's got a good sense of humor. So anyway, check him out. I'd suggest that. And what else I got going here? Let me unhook this before I zap anything. There, I just have to hook to that. Oh, and in that other part of the other videos, I was showing my original AM radio here in the Edsel. Didn't work. Well, the reason it really didn't work, once I went to pull the speaker out, here's the speaker. It's like, well, duh. No wonder it don't work. Look at that. That was up, up in the dash. My gosh. We can see that. I mean, it's like just crumbling, you know. If you think about it, it's up in the dash after all the years of the sun and the heat beating on it like that. So, of course, there's nothing on it. So since then, this old AM radio, I hooked it up to something else, and it's fine. Well, anybody needs a Ford AM, 59 Ford AM radio, I got one here. Okay, so another improvement I'm thinking on doing this. Once I got all the interior back together and that project's all done, and maybe this winter, maybe in the spring, I've done so much work to this car, and I've had this car, like I said, 20 years. It's about time to fix this rusty quarter down here. So this other YouTuber I watch, real good guy, Mike from, there he is, Junks Automotive. He's got a good channel. He does a lot of metal work, paint, does about anything. I mean, and he'll show you. He's a good teacher, so I suggest you check out him, Junks Automotive. Actually, I bought a hat from his merch store. He's a cool guy, Mike. So anyway, what I'm thinking I have to do is, of course, we take this down. Look at this hole. It's rusted here, and all through here it's bondoed. And this is all, put a magnet on this. This is all bondoed through here, so this door, I think I did a video adjusting that door, but it was all because someone hit something here. Like they ran across a guardrail having too much fun or something, who knows. But it also goes all the way down into here and maybe up here. So this, and to do this right, this would all have to be cut out, this lower part. So, I don't know. I could give it a try, and if I mess it up, I could just try to hire someone to do it. So I'm kind of kicking around the idea of cutting this out myself. But before I do anything like that, that's going to take the car off the road for a while. I don't want to make it where I start something like this and not be able to drive it again. Plus, I got to get the metal. So I've had a lot of Edsel parts cars. Actually, I've had, probably 8 or 9 over the years, 59 Edsel parts cars. But almost all of them have been 4-doors. So it's hardly hard to find a 2-door parts car, because that's probably what it would need, that piece from a 2-door, especially up here in the front. So if I come across that, and I would do that. I'd practice on if I got the parts car, I'd get a cutoff wheel and cut off the old one, see how that goes. And actually, I know a buddy that if I got in trouble, he would help me, weld that in. And then I get my body shop friend that did that. He said he'd give me a hand. He goes, Rick, why don't you give it a try yourself first? So I think I might do that. But that's a way future project down the line. So anyway, not much, that's where we're at. Kind of waiting on that windlace to finish so I can finish the interior. I'm not getting the bench seat back probably to the spring from Jason, so really no hurry for it. It's kind of stored for the winter. It's a nice day here now. Last week of October, he left the back door. It's a farmland out there. They've been harvesting back there, so it's a nice day here in northern Colorado, but that's going to end here real soon. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get the 100 subscribers. If you feel like it, hit the button. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Yeah, I know I ended this video, but I just thought I'd throw this little in at the end here. I've had this clock running for a little over about an hour and a half, and it's keeping perfect time. I like the way, it tick-tocks instead of sweeps like a quartz, upgrade would do. Way cool. Actually, I'm going to show you something else. Hang on a minute. Yeah, this is the view out the back of the shop, the back of old Rick's Car Garage shop. Yeah, I rent this building from a farmer that owns all this, and it's really pretty up here this time of year, last weekend of October. They already got the corn harvested over there, you can see. This all here is sugar beets. They'll start doing that here probably another week or so. And when that happens, oh my gosh, I don't come over here because the air is full of it, but it's real pretty out here right now. And out that way, there's a tree farm there. So, nice getaway to come over here. All right, well, little trailer there I thought I'd throw here at the end. Thanks, everybody. Bye.